What is good, everybody? How we doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Fix the camera stitch here real quick. My room's a mess. I apologize. I'm getting things straightened up and organized. You can't see over here, but I'm doing a lot of new stuff. So let me get this camera fixed real quick. There we go. I seem to have to reset that camera every night. What's up, everybody? Rick, Michelle, Frederick or Friedrich? Michelle, 7 Nights. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to everybody who's just watching and not chatting. Appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody being here. It has been a crazy, I don't know, 5 or 6 days here on this end. If you all know, we have been getting a lot of really bad storms here in Kentucky. It's been really, really rough. We had a lot of flooding. Our basement got flooded, so my whole, from Thursday up until last night, was getting water out of the basement, trying to get it dried out, get it prepped for demolition. We got to tear out everything in the basement. I have to tear out everything in the basement. But we are okay. Me and my family are okay. But a lot of people aren't. A lot of people's houses are completely underwater. A lot of people have lost their homes, lost everything. So be praying and thinking about those people. We are okay. We are A-okay. So don't worry about us. Everything, all the stuff that happened to us, we were able to fix with these hands. So it's going to take a lot more for those other people to recover and get out of their situation. So prayers and thoughts for them. And I have been trying to help some of those people who are local in my own time. That's why I've not been on here. But I will be on here more this week now, so unless Mother Nature throws us another curveball. Now it's all supposed to start freezing, so it's been wild. It's been wild. So how have you all been? How have you all been? I've been thinking about you all. I don't know your faces. I know your screen names, so it is cool to be back doing this more now and regularly like I used to. So I'll think of some of the screen names and chatting with some of the screen names sometimes. Is the music too loud? Thank you, Alan. Well, the music's off now, so let's see here. I'll restart some music. And I'll turn it down a bit more. There. But yeah, like I said, it's been a wild few days. So apologize. I wanted to stream all weekend. That was my original plan last week, was to come on and stream Thursday night and just kind of try to stream all weekend. And that did not happen. So I want to make sure we started this week off right with a good stream. Doing a little Final Fantasy VII Rebirth cleanup, general discussion stuff. Hey, Michelle, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I wanted to let you all know, I am really getting the Discord up and running again. I'm going to be a lot more active on there now. So if you all want to be active on my Discord, there should be a link for the Discord in the description for this live stream. If any of my mods are on right now, I don't know that any of them are, but if any of you all are on, drop a link to the Discord so people can come on there and chat. I'm going to add a new, my Discord's free to join, it's free to join, but I'm going to be adding a new tier on Patreon. I don't know where we're at yet, but on Wednesday nights I want to have like a chat, like an open chat. So like a voice chat, so people can come on and talk with me. We can all talk together. We can all hang out and have a good time. I don't know all the specifics of that yet, but I'm going to start that not this week, but next week. So on Discord, if you want on Wednesday nights, it'll be open to certain level patron members. You'll be able to just have a live chat with me for an hour or a couple hours every night, or every Wednesday night starting next week. So it's one of the things we're going to be doing to start touching base with you all, hanging out with you all, get the community going again. I've had a lot of people DM me about the Nintendo stuff. I do have a video on that coming. I've got a video on that coming. I've got a long Final Fantasy VII Rebirth wrap-up video I've been working on. Again, with the flooding and the weather and just the natural disaster that's been hitting Kentucky, central Kentucky especially right now. I haven't had a chance to finish it like I wanted to last week, but rest assured, that is coming this week. So my long Final Fantasy VII Rebirth wrap-up video / review / thoughts / all that is coming probably around the end of this week. And then my big theory video for the next game, or my thoughts and ideas of where the next game could go, that long video will be coming at the end of next week. So be looking forward to all of that. I'm excited. Yeah, exactly, Gaijin. Like, I have the worst luck of anyone. And like, look, I'll be real with you all. Like, if I were on the outside looking in, like, because I always have tons of delays, I always tons of stuff, and a lot of it has to do with I try to do too much. I get that, and I've been trying to fix that about myself. But I do have legendarily bad luck, and I've had my editor and a couple of other people that are close to me have been witnessing it firsthand lately. Like, oh my God, you know, you don't just like delay theory, you don't just not do things, you really have horrible luck. I'm like, I know. I'm glad it's documented now. I'm glad people are able to document it now. But yes, I have horrible luck, but I take a licking and I keep on ticking. I take a kicking and I keep on ticking. So that's how we roll around here, you know. People come out, they say things, they do things, life does things to you. You just gotta, if you want it bad enough, you gotta pick yourself up, you gotta dust yourself off, you gotta keep rolling. So in my case, you gotta keep rocking, baby. You gotta keep rocking. So anyway, we're going to be getting into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, doing some cleanup stuff. I'm still in Cosmo Canyon. The cleanup stuff has been fun. I've been really itching to get to it since I finished the game. I've been able to do a little bit here and there, and it's all been on stream. I haven't done anything off stream, so be that as it may, the Nintendo stuff, kind of getting back to that. I do have a video coming, but I will say, I will put this out there. I see companies, I see the need for companies to charge what Nintendo wants to charge for some of this software. I say some of it because it's murky, right? Like, social media is a big game of telephone. Some influencers can take from delivered messaging what they want. And I will say Nintendo is horrible at delivering their messaging. They're never clear on things, they're always ambiguous. And it's very easy to take the wrong things from some of the stuff they put out. That being said, a lot of influencers, a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff, a lot of them like to weaponize that kind of stuff, right? Because that's popular right now. Weaponize negativity and get viewers and get clicks. That's not what we do around here. I will say, Nintendo's messaging, they need to hire someone else to handle their messaging. If something's lost in translation, they need to find someone to fix the translation, basically. But I do see why video game companies would want to charge $80 or $90 for their software. I do get that, because the price of making video games, it just gets higher and higher and higher. That being said, the companies also have to recognize that the average game, video games become a high luxury expense at that point. And if they want to price themselves out of their fan bases. And what I mean by that is, I know Nintendo fans will always buy Nintendo games. They could be $100 for a game for Mario Kart, and people will pay $100 for Mario Kart. They would pay $100 for a new Smash Brothers game. They would. It prices them out of having the option to buy a PlayStation game, or to buy an Xbox game, or to buy a PC game, because then you're just locked into Nintendo. Same thing for Sony, or any of the other, pick any of the big names, like any of them. If you're trying to price your fan base out of going to the other competition, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're only going to break even, because there are going to be some fair weather fans of your thing that aren't going to come to your thing. They're going to stick with the other person's thing. You're only going to break even, and all you're going to do is dwindle down the gaming install base. That's it. So these companies either have to find a way to make games affordable for the current $69.99 or whatever that they are. Because I think a lot of PS5 games are $69.99, I think $59.99. $80-90, that's a bridge too far. People just don't make that kind of money. They don't. The average gamer does not make that kind of money, and it's hard for them to justify paying that money for it. So they have to find a way to either make games in an affordable range, that $59.99 to $69.99 range, and keep it right there, or they're going to have to scale back their games a little bit. Do we need to play movies? And to be honest, the games, the really high fidelity, beautiful looking games and stuff that you get 15 hours out of, I mean, everybody's got their own opinions on them. Like, oh, well, it's all about the experience. If you liked it, you liked it. That's fine. If that's how you feel, that's fine. That's not how I feel. If I lay down $60-70 for a video game, I want to get 40 to 50 hours out of that thing, at least. And that's not doing everything. I want a long story, because I'm an RPG guy, right? If I buy a fighting game, I can get 40-50 hours out of a fighting game and enjoy every bit of it. Enjoy every bit of it. But like your action games and stuff, your 12 to 15 hour action games. What was Hellblade 2? Was that like an 8-10 hour playthrough? It wasn't even that long, was it? How long did they spend developing that game? How long did we have to wait? And all this other kind of stuff. That was crazy, right? And a massive... If that was an independent game with like 4 or 5 people working on it, I would totally get it. I would totally get it. That wasn't the case. And it's not the case for these Nintendo games. They have armies and armies of people working on these games. It's so it's expensive. It's expensive, but you got to find a way. You got to find a way to make that budget work. People are talking about the tariffs, why the Switch 2 is so high. Whatever the reason, whatever reasons people bake up and put out there, you got to find a way. You got to find a way to make that accessible. The Switch 2 is not the PS5. It is not the newest version of the Xbox. It is not PC quality. It is not. It is not worth $450. It just isn't. Based on the specs I've seen, and I'm not like a spec junkie. I'm not a spec nerd. You all know that. You all know that. I can still play Kid Icarus and get just as much fun out of it as like a new God of War game or something. Doesn't matter to me. But they got to find a way, because we're getting to a crossroads where it's going to be really, really hard for the average person to pick up a game they want to pick up. Yeah, it's all about the pricing of the software, man. It's all about the pricing of the software. Some of that stuff on not buying a physical game, from what I've read, it's only some games, and it's only some first-party games. But I don't know enough about it at this point to tell you yes or no, that's true, that's not. I hope it's not. I love physical media. I'm to a point now where I only support physical releases. That is my choice. That is how I speak with my money. I'm only choosing to support physically released games. That's it. I'm ordering the as soon as Amazon makes it available, I'll be ordering a physical copy of Lunar 1 and 2. So I won't be playing that until my physical copy comes in. I think you can only get it from Amazon. So I'm only going to play that. I'm not doing the digital download for Lunar 1 and 2. I'm going to do the physical copy. Because I want to own my games. I mean, that if you don't physically own it, then you don't own it. I don't understand why people don't see that. There are already movie hubs and places that have gone out of business where people bought their digital movie and now they're no longer available. They cannot watch them anymore. So if I, like the digital media that I have bought over the years, I ripped backups of them. Like my movies and stuff like that. Like I ripped backups of them and have them on my hard drive, like a separate like partition on my main hard drive. Because, you know, if you're going to go digital, you got to find a way to own it. You got to have a backup, and you just can't do that with video games. You know what I mean? So I don't buy a lot of video games a lot of times, but if I do, it's got to be physical, because you should own the thing that you buy. I know you can make that argument from here to there, but if you can't hold it in your hand, it can be taken away from you without you knowing. You got Chrono Cross, that brilliant remaster that came out a couple years ago. You've got digitally, right? But that's all you got is the digital version. Haven't played it in 6 months. I want to go load that up. I want to try to get ending number 6. Could be gone. Could be gone. Like a thief in the night. You don't know. So the stuff with Nintendo and doing their digital only, yada yada, all that kind of stuff. It's we'll see. We'll see how that all pans out. You all know I call them Nintendo Island because they do their own thing. They do their own thing on Nintendo Island, and it doesn't necessarily have to jive with what the rest of the gaming industry is doing. They do their own thing. They try to be trendsetters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Looking at you, Wii U. Looking at you, Wii U. Looking at you. I didn't even like the Wii. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like the Wii or the Wii U. I loved the GameCube. The GameCube was amazing. I really love the Switch. But they gotta be careful. So, Ubisoft wants gamers to get comfortable with digital only gaming and not owning it. Yeah, like I read that a few years ago when that came out. I think that might be one of my most popular tweets I put out. I was like, Ubisoft should get real comfortable with people not listening to their jargon. Enough people pushed back on that, and Ubisoft came back. It's like, what we meant was that's not what he meant when he said that was. No, man, don't talk to me. Get out of my face. I know what you meant when you said that. You were trying to flex, and you got thrown back in your seat by everybody who read that. You tried to step up and flex, they went, bam, put you back in your seat. Said, sit down, listen to us. And they sat there, they pulled their notes out, they listened. Oh, no, what he meant to say was, no, bitch. Like, if people had to push back on that guy, people came out like, yeah, he was right for what he said. He's so brave to come out and defend our company like that. No. Sit your ass down. You need to get real comfortable with people wanting to own their games and pushing back on rhetoric like that. So, yeah, gotta own those games. Gotta own your media. If you don't, have it on your shelf. If you can't pull it out and put it into a player, a DVD player, a video game system, then you don't own that software. You don't own it. You're licensing it. You are licensing it. You do not own it. Clear cut common sense. Common sense. So in short, I hope Nintendo learns their lesson from this. If there's a lesson to be learned. Again, we don't know the full story. We'll find out. Nintendo's never been good about launching things. And a lot of y'all probably don't remember this, but back when they were announcing the GameCube, they had the new Zelda coming out, the Wind Waker. It was untitled, but there was footage of The Legend of Zelda running on at the time it's called the Nintendo Dolphin. And it was Link and Ganon in a big sword fight in this kind of like lightning and darkness or whatever, and they were this big sword fight. And I think it was at E3 or a Tokyo Game Show, it was one of the two. And people lost their minds over this footage. Boom, just lost their minds over this footage. And then at the very next game show the next year, people were like waited with bated breath. The GameCube was announced. It's coming, or it's already out. People were waiting on the new Zelda game, the Wind Waker, Then they pop out Toon Link without warning anyone, without giving anyone any heads up. And I'll never forget, people, you could hear the murmuring in the crowd. They were like, what is this? What are we looking at? What is this, like a cartoon? Is this Nintendo? What's going on? And then I remember it ended with Link spinning around and like cartoon Link winking at the camera, and then it just goes off. And then like the title or whatever appears. And then silence from the crowd. Nothing. There were some awkward claps. And I think you could hear a dude say, the hell was that? Like, it was really awkward. And Nintendo, their reps were on stage, like, so that was the new Zelda game coming out after we just tickled your balls a little bit with that amazing demo last year. This is the new Zelda game. So Nintendo's never been good with marketing. Ever. I think the best bit of marketing I've ever seen from Nintendo was probably the Switch's marketing when the Switch was announced. And they did the big thing for it or whatever. This one, they made us wait. They teased us. They made us wait. And it was like, they didn't show us anything. Didn't show us. They were like, oh, look, the Switch got kind of bigger. The controllers are kind of less annoying, less breakable, That's the other thing on the Switch too. The controller, the Joy-Cons, man, you gotta make those things last. For $80, $80 for a damn controller, and it breaks after 9 months. Nah, man, no, dude, come on, you gotta do better than that. But Nintendo's never been good with their messaging. They've just never gotten marketing. They sell because of the name, and they have great games. They do. Super Mario Wonder. Me and my son 100%ed Super Mario Wonder. Well, we haven't beaten the final test stage where you got to use all the badges to get through. It's the only level we haven't beaten. We've got all the flagpoles, all the Wonder Seeds. We've got everything except for the last level. So it's super fun, and I loved New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe on the Switch, the Wii U port onto the Switch with some extra stuff. I've not been a fan of the new Zelda direction, but a lot of people are. The Pokemon games are fantastic. Me and my son play those together. And then there's the games that you can get on every system Switch has as well. And Final Fantasy VII Remake being on the Switch was like the worst kept secret in gaming. I kind of knew that was coming from a couple of people that I can't talk about or they'd lose their job. That's the other thing. I don't come out here anymore and talk about stuff other people tell me because people get mad when I don't tell them what my source is. But I don't say what my source is because I don't want my friends to lose their job. So, like when I talked about the Final Fantasy IX remake video, people were so pissed. Like, oh, this guy don't know shit, man. He's just saying stuff, not clickbait. No, I was coming on and sharing with you all, giving you all a little hope based on things I heard. I will never do that again. Don't worry. I won't. I have conversations with these people all the time, but I won't ever do that again. So I apologize. I won't tickle the balls. I won't do that again. I apologize. I just don't want my friends to lose their jobs. That's it. That's it. So anyway, mum's the word on that. But Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to Switch 2 was like the worst kept secret in gaming. They were just waiting on a system they thought was powerful enough to run it properly. And there's probably going to be it'd be fun if there were. It would be fun if there were some extras with that too, to sell it, to really sell it. So, but it is a lot of money. It is a lot of money for the system and for the software, and it's I don't know. I just think that's going to be a really hard sell from Nintendo's standpoint, but we'll see. Anyway, let me get the game queued up. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to take a bite of my burrito. I'm self-conscious about eating on camera, so let me pause this real quick, get a bite, switch the game over. I'll be right back. So this is where we were the other night. Oop. I'm having a lot of fun just running around. What's up, Chris? What's up, Sean? How we doing, guys? I need to look up, and maybe you all can tell me, is there a physical version of Suikoden, of the Suikoden collection? I want to make an effort to get that this week. This is the guy that disappeared on me while I was fighting the other day. Or he never popped up, I was going to say.
You okay? I'll be fine. Be fast. Come on. You alright? Sorry, but I gotta. Let's get serious.
Oh, Radiant Ward. I hit the wrong thing. I hit the wrong thing. Alright, let's get him out of here.
Finish him off.
Can't get out of there. Oh wait, get back on here. Ray no good at chocobo riding. I cannot bound off of there. Oh, there we go. He's got to hit it just right. Boom. Good job. Good job. This tower. Let's see. Nope. We've already been here? Surely not. Oh, get out of here. Love your pay grade, boy. Every time I see you hang in there, girl.
Don't overdo it.
Sure. However I can help. Together? This one's for you! Go on!
There we go. Good job, girl. Good job, girl.
This one's for you!
There, get smashed. There we go, finally got it.
Here it comes!
Comes the...
Get him! This one's for you! Here it comes! This one's for you! Stay strong, okay?
Good job, here. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're working on number 2. We're working on Derelict number 2, so please be excited, as Square Enix would say. The first Derelict novel is a 130-piece orchestra of horror. The second novel is a quiet piano recital. If that makes any sense.
According to one of the canyon's legends, Bahamut once took shelter somewhere in these lands after being severely wounded in a fierce battle. Its scarlet hue is said to represent the divine protection the earth was given.
Bahamut Arisen. Let's see here. Alright, Eric. Have a good one, dude. Triangle, square, circle, square, circle. Okay. Ah, missed 2 there. Boom! Booyamos! Nice.
Analysis complete. I managed to extract the necessary data from the crystal. This should allow me to strengthen your materia.
Dig. Okay, that's all I'm looking for. 2 Gigas potions. Gigas potion. Oh, something over here too. What's in the hole? Ah, it's right there.
Anyone else think it'd be fun to find one of those things?
Did I really honestly not get this one earlier? I've seen people complain about the towers and stuff. I enjoy doing stuff like that, like going completing maps and all that. It's one of the reasons I love a good JRPG. No, 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 no. What we got? All right. Wop. That's one way to do it. There we go. Are there monsters? No monsters? Oh, what you got for me? Show me the way to the materia cave. Oh, I see it. I sees it. This one's kind of out in the open. That's cool. Something different. Did it. Ah, didn't dodge that one in time.
One more shot! Here he comes! I got it! Come on! Yeah. There! Right on you!
Let's do this.
Look out! Bring it!
It's on now. Take the lead.
So it's my turn? That'll do! Get him!
Aerith is a pressure machine.
We'll make it quick. That'll do! Here he comes!
There we
Not
go.
the best.
Poke out. Is that the tower I'm missing? You're shitting me. I walked past that like how many times? I can't jump off of here? What kind of air chocobo are you? You should be ashamed. Wait. Wait. Alrighty. What'd I get? Ether onion. Meh. Don't know if that's gonna be a real game changer or not. How badass of an entry was that?
You okay? Stop it! Someone looks hurt. Don't worry. Can you take over? All set. Bingo! Come on! There! Yeah, you're up!
on now.
It's dead.
I got it. Yeah. Come on. Keep it up.
Just like that.
Now.
There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to be a taste for what we can expect in part 3, the final part with Aerith. I think there will be times where she comes along and she's playable. Because they've already given us that. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but based on what they gave us, I would say it's definitely a possibility. I don't know where exactly I fall on that just yet. Because I love in the original game, I hate that you lose her. But I love that you felt that loss throughout the game because you lost your white mage basically. But also I wouldn't be against it just because playing with Aerith is damn fun in this game. Like her and Barrett are my two party leaders, they're my mains. So, either way, I'd be okay with it. There's an argument to be made for both. Approval medals. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, Vincent and Sid. Their combo techs are going to be amazing. Dude, you stuck? What is going on here? No! I broke the game. I broke the game. How does this happen? Oh, okay. Okay, good. I was gonna have to restart it or something. Some odd stuff like that.
That's it. Go on. Who's that person magic? I think we're almost done. That'll do.
There it goes.
Sorry, but I got all the prizes there.
Yeah, I've got a feeling they'll change those up somewhat. Well, they've changed other limit breaks in the game too, or giving people new ones. So, or you know, like Hellmasker, the one you're thinking of, with the Jason Voorhees kind of knockoff. It could just be a special move, like he pulls out a mask and puts it on, pulls out a chainsaw or something silly like that. Yeah, Vincent should handle like Dante from Devil May Cry. Just crazy and all over the place, and fun as hell to play as.
Chocobo. I'm on a chocobo. You're on a chocobo.
The gliding stuff in this is really fun. Once you figure out how to do it. To figure out the trick. I thought maybe he was going this way. He was back here. This way. Okay. There we go. The riches. Yeah, the grinding in this game's been really fun.
Cloud! Upon analyzing the data from the Lifespring, I was able to locate a new transmuter chip. It's buried in some nearby mountain ruins. Currently, a survey of these ruins is in progress, but we suspect they were built by the ancients, or others like them. Perhaps you could conduct an investigation of your own while looking for the transmuter chip.
Sure thing, Chadley. Chibly. Be happy to. This game is massive. You all remember before the game came out, like people were like, oh, it's not even going to be a quarter of the map, or oh, it's not going to be that big, or oh, it's not going to be open world, or oh, you have to load zones. So I list the internet chumps. I mean, this game is huge. Even I was shocked at how big this game was when it came out. Run into the spiky cactus. Yeah, I don't think I did anything here. Pretty much did nothing here, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, I keep passing this thing like by miles. How did I get so far off track? Is that the one I'm after? Wow, I got really far off track there. How'd that even happen? There it is right there, okay. Yeah, like I was way off on that.
That's that.
Stop it, Flag, he's dead! Stop it, man, he's dead! There we go. You got a hard fight here, son. Alright, we'll give another drink. I'll take a break and be right back with more from Cosmo Canyon. So I was debating on whether or not to stream tonight, and then I got to thinking about some things that I forgot to get you all's feedback on, things I want to talk to you all about. And again, I apologize for the huge mess behind me here. Currently reconfiguring the layout of some stuff in here, so I apologize for that. Let's see here. Turn the music down a little bit. So, now that I've finished the game, now that I can talk to you all about the game, so how do I want to phrase this? What do we think? What's up, Valentine? What's up, Valentine? What do we think is going on with Aerith at the end of the game? I've got my thoughts. I'm going to save them for the video, but I thought I'd have an open discussion with you all just because I'm curious. I've seen a lot of crazy, wild theories out there, a few on my Discord, a lot on social media, and excuse me, a lot of them are things that I had thought about, a lot of them are things I had not thought about. So I mean, I've got my own ideas, unchanged, unswayed by what I've read, but I'd be curious to see what you all think. I've seen a lot of people talking about how they lit Aerith weird in the Forgotten Capital after the burial scene that we didn't see. Like, she's lit weird, and I even made notice of that. They lit her weird, and they had her feel a little weird. And then we saw, like, Eternal Aerith speaking with Cloud. I'm of a mind that... I've also seen a lot of people say they think that that first Aerith we see after Aerith's death, sitting next to Cloud, when he's like, alright, let's go, you know, that they think that's Jenova in some way. I had thought about that, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet. I don't know that... I don't think I'm sold on that just yet. I think it has more to do with Cloud's broken psyche. And here's why I think it's important for... Here's why I think it's important for it to just be Cloud's broken psyche, without Jenova manipulation, without Sephiroth manipulation. I think there needs to be a heavy focus, but not heavy-handed, on Cloud's mental health. Because the things he's been through and the pressure he put himself under it's a boiling plate for his mental state. You know, he's not good, he's not well. And I think it would cheapen it. I think it would cheapen the message there if it's just like some Jenova manipulation. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think it just needs to be his broken psyche putting Aerith there because he can't process what has happened. I think that's that. I think that's what I want. That's what I want. I'm not going to say it should be, because I'm not the storyteller, it's their story. But what I want is I want for Aerith, that first Aerith we see lit darkly, to be him projecting her there. Him really seeing her there. Like he envisioned her reaching up and putting her hand on his face when he's holding her and she's dead, and he's actually the one that's got her hand on his face. It's an extension of that. That's what I want it to be. Because I think if you put Jenova, oh, it's Jenova pretending to be Aerith, and there's a precedent for that. It's not like the time travel thing where I was like, absolutely not, there's no precedent for it. Please don't do that. There's a precedent for Jenova because they've set the stage for that, right? They have set the stage that could be the case, but it could also not be the case at the same time. So But the second Aerith we see is absolutely the Eternal Aerith that came to help Cloud in his time of need against Sephiroth at the end. That though I think I'm dead set certain that those two are the same. I think Aerith in that last battle was Eternal Aerith that we saw in Advent Children. Yes, absolutely, Rick, absolutely. The Aerith we saw in the Forgotten Capital and in the field with Tiny Bronco is Cloud's hallucination. I think the Aerith we see with them with the Tiny Bronco, I think that's Eternal Aerith, because her feet have to stay on the ground, like she's connected to the planet. She didn't get on the plane with them, and Red 13 sensed her presence. That's the big key for me. She had to keep her feet on the ground when the rest of them flew off, like, as in like almost magnetized to the planet, because that's where the live stream is. She has to stay connected to the planet, and Red 13 sensed her presence. That was key. They put that in there where Red 13's like Aerith, because he's in tune with the planet as well. But absolutely, the Aerith that Cloud sees after the burial that we didn't get, because we don't see the water burial in this one, and we see her because he doesn't think she's dead. Like, his mind won't let him process that, which I thought was beautifully done. I'm bummed we didn't get to see the burial scene, but I really feel like in my heart of hearts, and this isn't me making excuses for Square, because you all know I'll call them out if I think something's bullshit. But the more I've had time to think about it over the last week or so, I think it's going to hit even harder. I think Cloud's redemption and his, assembling himself back together in the live stream, I think, let me think here for a second. I'm going to let this thought simmer. Yeah, okay, so I think what that's going to be is there are going to be steps to the process, and the way I would like to see them do it is like, you don't spend your whole time with Tifa and Cloud, you do it in segments. Like when Tifa and Cloud are in the live stream and Sid is leading the party against Weapon. Like, imagine this, okay? Imagine this. And I think this right here is going to be, I just now thought of this at however many, I don't even know what the timestamp is right now, but I just thought of this. What if, when Sid's leading the party against Weapon, you cut back and forth between Sid and the party battling Weapon, and Tifa and Cloud going through different points of his story. And it starts with Tifa and Cloud going through different points of his story, his life, putting himself back together. And after each section, you go back to the party and they're chasing Weapon. And they have another encounter with Weapon. He flies off. The party goes back after him. You cut back to Tifa and Cloud. You do this a few times, and when you finally beat Ultimate Weapon, is it Ultima? Not Ultimate. Ultima? Is it Ultima Weapon? I think that's Ultima Weapon you're fighting there. I can't remember. I might be wrong about that one. Y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong about that. You beat Ultima Weapon, and then there's a bit of a cutscene. There's chaos. There's stuff happening on the surface. You cut back quickly to Tifa and Cloud. He's putting things together. He's seeing all the things you just went through. He's making sense of it. And then it's Sephiroth approaching him on the bridge, stabbing him. Traumatic moment. Zack's laid out. Tifa's laid out. Sephiroth's won. He's got Genova's head. You cut back to the party. The high wind's going down. They're trying to maintain control. Sid grabs the wheel. He's like trying to get him back up. Vincent, Barrett, Yuffie, everybody's doing something, all hell's breaking loose. You know, you cut back to Tifa and Cloud real quick. Tifa's holding Cloud. Cloud is putting things together. He grabs the sword. He throws it. He throws Sephiroth into the live stream. Slow motion shots and everything, you know. Cuts back to the party. They get control of the high wind. It's playing this crazy music, you know. And then you cut back to Cloud. Sephiroth falls into the live stream. Cloud passes out on the bridge. The party's got control of the high wind again. And then it cuts back to Cloud, and it's just quiet. And it's the Aerith burial scene. And then we get it right then. We get it right then. And then I think it'll be, if they do it, I'm sure however they do it will be fine. But if they do it kind of, I don't know, in like a quick hitter kind of way, hit you with all this stuff, emotions, quick, don't let you breathe, don't let you breathe, don't let you breathe, don't let you breathe, and then let you breathe. And then you get the scene. I think that's going to be really emotional. I would love to see them do it in some form of that, you know. I think that would be really powerful and really potent. And then you get Tifa and Cloud back at Mideel. The party has driven away Weapon, defeated Weapon in battle and driven him away. And then you set the stage for the final act. And then, boom. I think that would be really cool. I just thought about that. Like, I think you'll get Aerith's burial scene during Cloud's redemption, which is why I think there's a really good chance that Final Fantasy VII Redemption is the name of the next game. That's just what I think. Remake, Rebirth, Redemption. I think that would be a really cool way to do it. I think there's a precedent for the theme of redemption in the end of Final Fantasy VII, especially with Cloud. You know, in the OG Final Fantasy VII, he beats the piss out of Aerith at the Temple of the Ancients. He does bad things. He almost kills her on the altar. He stops himself. And then the last act for him is his redemption. So I think there is a definite precedent for that to be the case. Is Aerith being a vision to Cloud after her end is because Cloud had too many bush lights? Well, you know, I don't think soldiers get paid a whole lot, so you're probably drinking a lot of bush light, probably drinking a lot of natty light, you know, probably drinking a lot of the bad stuff, you know, convenience store, $8 12-pack beers, you know, a cold 6 for $4, you know, one of those deals. Could be. You don't want to mess with too much of that bush light, man. One thing, it won't do anything for you. And you just waste your money. You have to go to the bathroom a lot. That's it. That's it, Derek. That's it. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter that are talking about like different theories and different what-if scenarios and different bits about the Turks and Rufus and everything. I'll tell you right now what I want to see from Rufus Shinra in Final. I'm going to go ahead and call it Final Fantasy VII Redemption. I'm going to go ahead and call it that. I know it's a little presumptuous. I'm just having fun with that, you know. Final Fantasy VII Redemption, you're going to get this. I'm having fun with it. I know it may not be the case, but here, this is what I would love to see them do with Rufus. I think it would be really cool if, like, Rufus was... So at the end of Rebirth, they set Rufus up to be this double agent storyline, right? That he is Saruf. Saruf, is it Sharuf? Saruf? Was that his name? Viceroy Saruf? Saruf, Rufus, Derp, yeah. Saruf, Rufus, if you rearrange that stuff, yeah, you can get Rufus out of that. I think, or is there an A? Maybe not. Saruf might be not S-U, okay. You all see where I'm going with this, alright? I think they're going to set Rufus up to be like a bit of a double agent, a bit of an anti-hero. Not an anti-hero, I don't want to put it that way, because he does have his own selfish ends. That's why he's trying to orchestrate things. So he's not like a good dude. He's just not, I don't think he's evil. He's chaotic neutral. He's chaotic neutral, I think. I wouldn't even call him good. I don't want to vanilla up the character too much. I think he's great as like a skewed, flawed guy who's out for himself. He's greedy, he wants power. But I don't ever in the game get the vibe that he's evil. I totally got the vibe that President Shinra, of course, Hojo, evil. They're evil. And people are going to defend Hojo. No. Hojo's evil. Hojo is evil. And so is President Shinra. Both evil. Heidegger is a buffoon. Scarlet is a greedy person. I think Rufus is just power hungry. But yeah, anyway. During the weapon attack, is it Diamond Weapon? Diamond Weapon who attacks Midgar, and they blow him away with the Sister Ray. I would love for you to control Rufus during that segment, because that's his big send-off for the game. It would be really cool to run around as Rufus and, like, you know, tell people they got to get out of the building, you know, and maybe there's little monsters that escape Hojo's lab and they get up to that level or whatever. You know, that's something you can do. And then you fight with Rufus and Darkstar, and you just start running around as Rufus before he's taken out of the story. I think that would be really cool. I'd like to see them do that with him. Get a little game time with Rufus, you know. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Turks in the third game, because you know there's a mutual respect between Reno and Rude and Avalanche. Well, not like a respect, but, you know, there's a... They acknowledge each other's skill. We'll put it that way. They acknowledge each other's skill and prowess in combat. They acknowledge each other. They don't respect each other. Avalanche sure as hell doesn't respect them. But they acknowledge their skills and their prowess. So it'll be interesting to see what the Shinra character's story arc is going to be in the third game. But yeah, the whole stuff with Aerith being a vision, I think that's going to be disruptive for Cloud, but I also think there will be moments where you have Aerith playing with Cloud, and maybe even when you're going through Cloud's redemption. I mean, the way they've done the remake saga so far, it's almost a slam dunk that during Cloud's redemption area of the game, that middle act of the game, you're going to get Cloud in combat in those scenes, using abilities. He could be using any kind of materia because he's drawing on references that are inaccurate and incomplete of his history, so he can have like crazy materia, he could have crazy summons, he could have anything, you know, because this is all in his mind based on his flawed recollection. Mastered spell materias, command materias, and I think that's going to be a prime spot where you see Aerith and Tifa with him. I think Tifa is going to feel Aerith's presence, because I think that should be like a holy kind of thing. That should be holy in the story. That should be like set apart. That should be its own special thing for Cloud and those who are especially attached to the planet. Now, you could make the point that the reason they had Tifa go into the live stream is to have her connect with the planet, so that when they get to that middle act of Game 3, it will make sense why she can sense Aerith's presence and battle with her in Cloud's redemption storyline and all that kind of stuff. Like, because they will have laid the groundwork, they will have made it a precedent that it would be possible based on the rules they've laid out for who can see her, who can feel her presence, and who can't. So that could be the main reason, or one of the two main reasons, the other one being surviving with Cloud in the live stream. Her exposure and her protection by the planet there, the planet showing her things, you know. So that could be why they use that to set that up. So just ideas I've been kind of rummaging around in my head for the past few days. But yeah, it's going to be interesting when I get my video up at the end of this week. Excuse me. Oof. It's been a long few days. My body still hasn't recovered. A lot of getting water out of my basement. We had tubs floating in my basement. Just floating, you know, storage tubs, Halloween, Christmas, holiday decorations, memories, pictures, albums, things like that. Just floating in my basement. So I'm still super tired from getting all that cleaned up. But yeah, I've been wanting to talk with you all for a few days about this. I've had these ideas floating around in my mind, and I'm really interested to see what you all think when I put this video out. The theory and ideas video for the next game is going to be next week. My initial thoughts and wrap up, kind of like a review of the game, will be probably this Friday. Probably Friday, maybe Thursday, I don't know. Well, yeah, Derek, that was one of the things I think it was in my live stream of the game, or maybe it was while we were just talking while I was doing cleanup stuff the other night here in the game. But I said it'd be really cool if Rufus was like a guest party member in a fight. You know, maybe even, I mean, not like a guest party member, like where you control his actions or whatever, but one of the characters in the background shooting when you inevitably fight Reunion Cloud. Reunion Cloud is absolutely going to happen as a boss fight. I'm so excited. I'm going to go back and find the video in my channel and find the date and all that. Hey, I'll do it here in a second, as a matter of fact, because I'm going to reference that video and be like, look, mark it down. This date I uploaded this video. I called this boss fight. We are getting it. Now, I'm not going to be doing it as a feather in my cap. I'm going to be doing it because I'm so excited that they're doing that, because it makes so much sense. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you have Reunion Cloud as a boss fight? Rick, thanks for the $5, man. Appreciate you, brother. I'll put some love on that. We only see Aerith when he is looking in that direction. Her dress doesn't react when the engine sputters. We're watching Red react from Cloud's POV. Yeah, but I really feel like Red 13, because she kind of touches him, right? She kind of grazes him. She kind of like, it shows that she's making an effort to like soothe him. I have to go back and watch that scene again, because I only saw it when I played through it. But it's almost, I feel like she puts her hand out to soothe him. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm just remembering that in my mind, but I feel like she's trying to soothe him, and that's when he's like, Aerith, like he feels her presence. They're making an effort. The creative team is making an effort to show you that there's an interaction happening there. It's not just like Cloud looking in his direction or whatever. I see what you're saying, but I just wanted to clarify why I feel like that's what's happening there. Thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate that. But yeah, there's going to be, if I play through this game again, which I want to, and get the story beats and stuff down again, because it did take me a long time to finish it, but I want to go back through and get the story beats down and all that kind of stuff. But I really feel like I'm just going to catch more and more stuff. Now that I've finished the game, I'm going to be looking for things to connect those things when I play back through it. And the Vincent stuff is going to be killer in the next game. The Vincent stuff is going to be dynamite. I really hope that with Vincent, what they do is they get more into Lucretia, they get more into his time with the Turks, because they've already teased that we'll get some Vincent Turks stuff in the third game. Not like a team up, but his history. Like the writers made a point to reference to the audience when Vincent gives the Turks that pep talk so they get their asses in gear and get out of the temple. He shows up to give them that pep talk. You can tell the character is referencing something from his past, like a pride of being a part of that unit. Not those guys, because they didn't serve with him. He served a long time ago, but it was his pride of being a member of that unit for what it once was. And the writers did a brilliant job of foreshadowing that we're going to get some of that history stuff in the next game. And man, I really hope they go in with it. Just show us some of the Dirge of Cerberus flashbacks, but like, you know, reanimated to look like the third game style, not like just pulling those videos and put them in there like they did with Advent Children. But no, yeah, really redo it, pop it in there, give Sid some love, or give Vincent some love, and give Sid some love. I'm really looking forward to Rocket Town. I really hope we get Sid full on as Sid. And man, I'll tell you what, Sid's stuff in the third game, there's going to be a lot. This third game is going to be massive. I was a little heartbroken that Vincent wasn't playable in the second game, but the third game is a whole game. Like, it's going to be a massive, massive game that you can do pretty much anything in. And it's going to be another 50 to 60 hour gameplay experience. It's going to be, how many hours have I played this game? Let me see. Because I kind of just started doing cleanup recently. 89 hours. 89 hours I've gotten out of this game. So if game 3 is a 50-hour gameplay experience, Final Fantasy VII, if you take your time and enjoy it, it's 40 hours. And you don't get Vincent until halfway through that game. So you get 20 hours with him in the original game. If you get a full 50-hour game with Vincent and Sid this time around, that'll be more than you had them for in the original game. That will be more time than you had with them in the original game. And in game 3, you'll be able to go back and visit all the places. We've still got to do Bone Village. We've still got to do Wutai. We've still got to do Medill. We've still got to do going back to Midgar. We've still got to do the Northern Cave. We've still got to do Rocket Town. I mean, there's so much stuff. Not to mention the areas they're probably going to add. There's probably going to be adding small little areas and stuff. So, and how massive the areas are going to be. Like, the lead up to the rocket at Rocket Town is going to be crazy. You all understand this, right? When we're approaching Rocket Town, it's going to be like when we approached Cosmo Canyon. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. No, here's the thing. Why I like what they did with Sid. And I've had some time to think about this, and I'll be putting this in my wrap-up video as well. I love what they did with Sid Highwind, because it felt like he was overcompensating being so nice to Aerith and being so nice to the party. And so the party thinks, oh, this is a really nice guy. One of the things about people who are abusive to people they love, whether they want to be or not, abusive that is, because people who are abusive to people they love, they have issues, mental issues going on. Not all the time. Sometimes it's like addiction or something like that, but there's always something not right. I think with Sid Highwind, we're going to see the verbal abuse with Shara. He's going to be going off on her. He's going to be yelling at her. He's going to be cussing at her and stuff. He's going to be smoking. He's going to be drinking. He's going to be doing all this stuff. And I think that's why they went out of their way to make him look like he's trying to make up for something. In this game, with as nice as he was to Aerith, and as fun-loving and everything he's been to everybody else, I think he's going to treat Shara like shit. I really do. I really think that's what they're doing, so it's jarring. So it comes off as jarring and shocking. Behind closed doors, he's a different dude. and that'll be part of his redemption. I think I really like Redemption as the game name for number 3, because all the characters are going to be looking for some sort of redemption. Kate Sith, obviously, that's obvious. Yuffie, that's obvious. They've already set up the thing with in the Temple of the Ancients with Nero goading her about Sonin, you know, her leaving Sonin there. Cloud's redemption, Tifa's redemption. Tifa feels like she needs to be redeemed. She feels like she's failed her friend Cloud. She feels like she's failed Avalanche. She feels like she's failed keeping things together. She feels like she's failed at all these things. Sid Highwood, obviously. Vincent Valentine, obviously. There's a lot of obviously happening with the party. The only one I can't put a redemption thing on is Red 13. And maybe it's going to be trying to live up, I think it's going to be him trying to live up to his father's legacy. So there's going to be a lot, the theme of redemption is going to be all throughout game number 3. And if they put Genesis in there as a bonus boss fight or side mission, and we get Gax's redemption, playing the whole, because that song is a jam. That song's still a jam. Play that in there, why not? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff thematically and narratively they've done that I've had time to kind of stew on and think about, and it's brilliant. It's really brilliant, a lot of the stuff they did. Some things I had a problem with at first. Like, I had a problem with Sid being so goody two-shoes and not barking at people. I think we just haven't got it yet. I think because he has some knowledge of Aerith's mother. And one of my thoughts is that, is my audio off? How about now? I do know that my camera keeps kind of slipping, so I have to do this every now and then to kind of bounce it back, but yeah, so I also feel like Sid in game number 3, it's going to be revealed that he had something to do with Shinra capturing Shera. Maybe even, wrap your minds around this, what if Sid Highwind is the dude that found out that Professor Gast ran off to the Northern Crater with Ifalna and they had baby Aerith? And what if Sid's the one that kind of sold him out? Well, not selling him out, but kind of told him what was going on. Flew him up there to capture Ifalna and Aerith. Gas gets killed. And Sid has to fly them back. And maybe that is why Sid isn't with Shinra anymore. There's a lot, because they didn't really mention the space program too much. And they might scrap the space stuff altogether. We may not go to space. I hope we do. But in Final Fantasy VII, you went to space and you just came back. You didn't like do anything there. So I could see that kind of being taken out. But what if Sid's reason for leaving Shinra this time isn't the space program being defunct or anything like that? What if it has to do with him feeling bad about having a hand in Professor Gast's death, and Ifalna and Aerith being captured and treated like lab rats with Shinra? That would explain why he has this unexplainable desire to help Aerith. Unexplainable desire to make it up to Ifalna. To feel like he needs to be redeemed. And his depression and his torment and everything has balled up inside of him, and the only way he knows how to get that out is to take it out on Shera. And then that's just kind of his story arc. You can do anything you want with that, but that's just my initial take on what they're doing with Sid. It would make his too good to be true attitude and act from Rebirth and make it make total sense from like a mental health standpoint. Make it make total sense, and I'd be totally fine with that. And because J. Michael Tatum plays him like a dude who's trying too hard to hide something. Like he's overcompensating and trying to hide something. That's just how it feels to me. So it is it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I love the Temple of the Ancients scene where everybody's going back and retracing their steps through their past. Barrett's scene was especially heart-wrenching. Anytime they show a flashback of Kid Aerith, that scene where you were having to find help for her mom who was dying, God, dude, that wrecked me. I held it together pretty good on the stream, but that wrecked me. That was so well done. You walk around as this little girl whose mom's dying, and she doesn't know anybody. She doesn't even know where she's at. She's trying to, dude. It was like that was 5 stars, man. That was 5 stars. I don't care where you fall on the fence of Remake Saga's doing it for you or it isn't. You like the OG better, this and that. What did people call the whispers? They called them stupid shit in the first game. Whatever side of the fence you fall on, that scene, if you argue that scene is anything other than 5 out of 5 stars, I question if you know good narrative. I question if you know what's good and what's bad. I'm going to have to question that. Because that was some of the most impressive bit of storytelling I've ever seen in a video game. Ever. It was heart-wrenching. Yeah, I agree. If we do go to space, I would want there to be some kind of substance to it. Maybe you go to a space station or something like that. But Shinra has scrapped their space program, so I don't know if there would be a space station. You know, I just don't. And I don't want you to go to space and fight aliens just because, again, what I've argued before, just like time travel. There's really no precedent for that, right? Except for Genova came from the stars. But other than that. But anyway, those are my thoughts for tonight. I'm going to call it a night. I'm pretty tired. I need to get some sleep. I'm working tomorrow. And then I'm coming home and we're starting demo on the basement. We'll start tearing out the walls and the floor in the basement tomorrow night. And we'll try to come back on and stream tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm streaming here or if I'm going to stream on the Aurora YouTube channel and do some artwork or whatever, but I'll be somewhere. No matter where I pop up, we can always talk about Final Fantasy VII stuff and kind of have those little streams, whatever. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who's come out tonight. Thank you again, Rick, for super chatting. It helps so much, man. Also, consider becoming a channel member. Head over to the Discord and sign up on Discord. It's free. I don't do any extra charging or paywall that. You want to be a part of Discord? Hit that link and say hi, and boom, you're in the club, baby. So yeah, consider doing that. Patreon, all the kind of good stuff. Also check out Aurora if you haven't watched it yet. We're climbing again over there, so that's good. And until next time, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other. Keep rocking. And I will catch you all in the very next video. Take care. Have a good night.